How's it going, everyone? Brandon from Section 18 here, and we haven't done a commentary on this channel for a while now. I think the last time we did one was with Gioteck back in Ghosts, and with Advanced Warfare just being released, I thought what better time to update you guys on how we're doing. And we've got a fantastic gameplay here from Todd Roberts, who is playing on Defender. He's playing Domination Ground War 9 versus 9. Fast-paced action. Typically when it's 9 versus 9, so there's more people, more flank routes, more people pushing down one side. And Ground War is fantastic, and he gets 43 kills and 1 death in this gameplay, and I think that is very special, because for me personally, when I transition from Call of Duty to Call of Duty, it takes me sort of, I don't know, a few weeks, few months before I really can get into the game and start enjoying it properly, before I know all the features off by heart, I know what to do, I know the map rotation, I know which way to go, what to do, and etc. And I really admire players that can immediately adjust their game so quickly, such as Todd here. And that's why I think this gameplay, it deserves to have a commentary on right away, and that's why I'm bringing it to you now. You would have seen on the screen before the class layout, but I'm just going to recap it quickly because I know some of the keen-eyed of you, I know, might have been listening and not paying attention, and it would have been on the screen for only a few seconds. So Todd is using the BAL, which is honestly the best gun. You get all the overpowered guns in the game that are your favourites, the AK-47, to name one, for example. The attachments he's using is the foregrip, which gives you, accuracy increase and recoil reduction, which is very helpful getting your first shots on target to hit the enemy, and obviously win your gunfights more often than not. The next attachment is the suppressor, which keeps you off the enemy minimap, so you can be a bit more stealthy, and that will help you rack up more kills and kill streaks. That's probably the #1 tip for me. Always in every single Call of Duty game, it's bread and butter. Definitely always run a suppressor if you are looking to try and get higher score streaks, because you stay off the enemy minimap, you can sneak around behind them, you can flank easier, and all around I think it's just a perfect attachment. It's a must on any single class. Obviously unless it's a sniper rifle or a shotgun, because that reduces range and damage, etc. But you get the gist. The final attachment is the stock. And again, this is one of my bread and butter attachments, because with the stock, what it does is that when you're aiming down sights, you can move faster with the weapon, and this allows you to strafe. And with the strafe-like function, good players will strafe left to right, which makes them difficult to shoot whilst they're keeping their shots on target because they aim down sights. He's got the foregrip in conjunction with that, and it just works perfectly. Okay, let's move on to perks. So for perk 1, he's using low profile, which is basically Ghost. It keeps you off the mini-map, and it does its job, and it's fantastic. Again, people, I don't know, they're not always favourite to like using Ghost, because you're cheating the system by not running you. So it's in the game, we're there to use it, it's there to be exploited, and low profile, brilliant perk. For perk 2, he's using peripherals, which I think is very different. It brings a very unique concept to Advanced Warfare, because what peripherals does is it increases the minimap range. And because you've got an increased minimap radius, you're allowed to see where people are further away, which gives you time to plan and prepare your next move. I think that brings a whole new, different side to the metagame of Call of Duty, because, I don't know, say before you've got a really restricted minimap and there's someone around the corner, you can't see them. With peripherals, you can have the extended minimap range, and you could be able to see whether a guy's around that corner, by looking at the HUD. And I think that'll be a very well-used perk, an overused perk in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare myself. I'm making a prediction here. And finally, Todd is using the wildcard perk-free greed, so you can run 2 perks. And he's using toughness, which is reduce flinch when hit, so you can keep your shots on target even though you're being shot at, which is a fantastic perk, and scavenger. So when you kill an enemy, you can run over and pick up their scavenger pack that they drop when they die, and it gives you more ammo. And so you can use your gun that you're favourable to, you're accustomed to, and it will help you get more kills. And if you stay alive longer, scavenger is definitely a must. And obviously his second wildcard is primary gunfighter, and that's why he has 3 attachments on his BAL. The Scorestreaks he's using, quickly, are UAV, so you can see anyone on the map. It's a sweep-in motion across the minimap, unless people are running low profile. A bombing run, which is basically the equivalent of a mortar strike from Black Ops 1. Or I'd go even to say a lightning strike from Black Ops 2, except the mortars across an entire lane, and they can be diagonally and horizontally, and I think that's good as well. It's going to be quite tactical for cutting off areas of the map, and yeah, cut off areas of the map, so like you could use it. I reckon it could be used in competitive really well. And finally, he's running the paladin, which is quite a high score streak. I think it's about 1,000 points or so. And the best way I could describe this score streak is it's kind of a cross between a futuristic AC-130 come VTOL warship from Black Ops 2. And you can fire your missiles, you can cypher weapons, you can zoom in. It's a basic chopper gunner kill streak in every Call of Duty game that you get. And it's a must when you're running high score streaks, to be honest with you. Okay, now we're going to move on to the overview of the map, just in case people are new to. I mean, it's only been out a few weeks. You're not really going to be sure. If you're interested in like the background of Call of Duty, it's quite interesting, to be honest with you. So Defender is set around an abandoned bunker underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a large medium map, I'd say. I think it's perfect for EXO abilities, which we'll cover in a moment, and sniper rifles. But again, you've got some buildings there. You've got close quarters engagements that can be found. So I reckon it can be possible to utilise as an SMG, but I would honestly stick with longer range weapons, because that will give you the best chance of staying alive. Now, if any of you played Call of Duty Ghosts, you'd be quite accustomed to dynamic map actions. That was, I don't know, it was a relatively new and innovative idea by Activision to introduce, by Infinity Ward. But Advanced Warfare has definitely taken it to the next level, because on this map in particular, a tsunami hits the southern end of the map and it will instantly kill anyone, and it will flood the beach for the rest of the map. Which, I don't know, I don't really know how I feel about that at this precise moment. It's too early to tell, but you can swim about in it, and I'm not sure if that would definitely leave you more vulnerable, and I'm not really sure how you can win gunfights or be in a favourable position underwater, but I guess we'll see when the game pans out, to be honest with you. Anyway, we've got a few more minutes here, and what I really wanted to talk about was the new abilities and like the exosuit abilities in this game. Basically, if you didn't know, Advanced Warfare have brought an entirely different like interface to like any Call of Duty we've seen before, and it's added abilities, and you can add one per, I think, per loadout your pick 13 system, but two of exo abilities can be attached if the tactical wildcard is used. But remember, that will take up, I reckon it's 2 or 3 points of your pick 13, so use it wisely. And there are several here, and it's an exo shield, and it's a quick deploy shield. It's like basically a portable riot shield. These all have a charge down time as well, and like a certain amount of time you can use them for. So you've got to be very strategic with what you can use them. You've got to choose the right one for the engagement. And again, this is why, for me, I'd have to test each one of them out individually, and this is why it'd take me almost a few weeks, a few months transition to work out what each ability is. I'd recommend, if you were looking for the correct exo ability, that you go into a private game and test them out, see which one suits your playstyle the most. I know Todd isn't running any on this particular gameplay, but what you will see as well is people in game using the shield, the exo overclock, which increases foot speed. So it's basically an advanced version of lightweight. So instead of using perk 1, you can use perk 1 for a different slot, and you can have the exo ability. So there's lots of interchangeable orientation between like the classes. So you could have lightweight, or you could have the exo mute device, which is dead silence from the previous Call of Duties. You'd have a thing called exo stim, which temporarily generates health beyond normal levels. So if you're in a bit of a situation, say you come into a room and there's 2 guys fighting, so you shoot one of them, you duck behind the corner, you activate your ability, you regen your health back to full, you pop around the corner and kill the other guy. I think that would be very tactical. I think that would be used quite a lot in competitive as well. Here's a very controversial one in my opinion, the exo cloak, which makes yourself invisible for a very short duration. I'm not really sure how I feel about that one. I think it could be a bit gimmicky, incredibly gimmicky, and I think the novelty will wear off after a while, so hopefully it won't be used too much. It'll be used to troll mostly, and no like gaming clans. We like the odd troll, but for me, it's great, but the novelty wears off very quickly when you're playing against a full lobby of people that will just cloak. And you've got exo hover, which lets you hover in place. Again, I think that's a very interesting concept, because with the new abilities as well that you were allowed into the game, such as the jump, the dash, the dodge, you could jump up high and you could hover. You could have a vantage point over the entire enemies. And moving on, we've got Exo Ping, which shows enemy exo movement and weapon fire in your heads-up display. So I reckon that could go high in the hand with peripherals, to be honest with you. I reckon that could combination quite wisely. Again, I'm not really sure, I'm just going on opinion, I really need to test it out for myself. And finally we've got the Exo Trophy System, which is, you know, a trophy system. It blocks incomings, grenades and rockets, 2 uses only. And I think with these abilities it can make for a very different Call of Duty. Let me know what you think in the description down below in the comment section. And yeah, please rate the video. Todd done fantastic. He was 43-1 in this gameplay on screen. It's a bit of a background gameplay, so I wanted to get as much information as I can. But yeah, if you want to see more commentaries in the future, please let us know. Sorry I had to end this so soon. It's been really nice. I have to make more in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.